Welcome to the Dr. Elizabeth King Show, where it's all about health, wealth, happiness, and purpose. Dr. Elizabeth King is recognized internationally as a health and wellness expert. She is a psychotherapist, hypnotherapist, speaker, and author of Dr. King's Simple Guide to Holistic Health. Listen here in South Florida on AM 1470 WNN or around the globe at www.ihchealthfusion.com. Brought to you by International Holistic Center, 3471 North Federal Highway, Fort Lauderdale, where feeling good is now an option. Call 954-903-9426 to schedule an appointment. And now, here's your host, Dr. Elizabeth King.
You share. Oh, we're on music? We are on the air.
All right.
Nobody even told us. Hi. Surprise. This is live radio and live TV. I'm Dr. Elizabeth King. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit discombobulated because I didn't know we were on. I did not hear our music, but here we are. Hi, Dr. Jenna.
Hi, how are you, Dr. King?
I am fine. I'm not even going to try to say your last name because I know I'm going to butcher it. So please introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Jenna Bobshever.
Oh, see? You knew? You see that what I'm saying?
It's as simple as that.
Bobshever, right?
Bobshever.
It's Bobshever.
Got it.
Dr. Gina, is that okay?
Dr. Jenna, you got it.
Dr. Jenna. Okay, perfect. I can't even say that. That's because I'm discombobulated because we were on the show. I don't know what you guys heard or saw, but hopefully it was all benign.
No cursing.
No cursing, of course not. We don't do that. At least we won't admit to it anyways. Well, welcome to my show. We're here on Thursdays at noon, and on Saturday the show replays at 7 p.m. I hear we're having some problems with my website. For some reason, I think somebody hijacked my website and someone has it in Germany. So if you're listening to this on the dial, or you can capture the radio show because you're one of the lucky ones, I am sorry to say that we have a little bit of a technical problem, but it's going to be fine. It's going to get fixed. And if you're listening to us on the radio, I hope you could just visualize us. We're here at the radio station. You're here in our home, and we just want you to be relaxed and really open to learning and figuring out things that will help you to be a happier, healthier person. And I'm so excited that you're here, and I'm so excited you're here.
I'm really excited to be here and talk about one of my favorite things.
I know. Well, I first have to preface this. Dr. Jenna is also one of our sponsors for Suits, Stilettos, and Lipstick, which, can you believe it's only 2.5 weeks away?
I really cannot believe that it's 2.5 weeks away. That came really fast.
Yeah, it is so fast. Thank you so much for coming on board and being one of our sponsors and supporting this, not just a conference, but a movement for women to take control over their lives.
Well, thank you for giving us a direction to make that possible for everybody. So I'm really excited to be a part of that.
Thank you. So if you have not gotten your tickets, it's suitsstilettosandlipstick.com, and I promise you that website hasn't been hijacked.
Not in Germany.
Not in Germany. It's here in the U.S. suitsstilettosandlipstick.com. Go ahead and purchase your tickets because we are going to have such a phenomenal time. If you are a woman in transition and need some help with a scholarship or partial scholarship, please give me a call at 954-903-9426. I would love to hear from you. We don't want any woman that wants to be there to be turned away because she can't afford to be there. We have scholarships because other women that can donate have been very generous to do so. And so because of sponsors such as Dr. Jenna and other sponsors and donors of scholarships, we're able to provide scholarships for so many women. So come on. It's at the Ritz-Carlton. So it can't
Fancy and fabulous.
Fancy. I call it sassy and fabulous.
Sassy and fabulous.
Yes. And it is quite fancy too. Well, you know, when you want the best, you have to go to the best, right? And
I'd say the Ritz is the best.
The best of the best, and it's in Fort Lauderdale, and it's on the beach. It's just absolutely gorgeous. You know, you just cannot get a better venue than the Ritz-Carlton in Fort Lauderdale. So July 12th, Suits, Stilettos, and Lipstick. If you have any questions, you can call me at the center, and that's 954-903-9426. You can also hear an interview that I did with Ellen Ellen Jaffe from 101.5.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it's on our website, so you can find out why and how and where we're going with this. And we want you there. It's a full day of health, business, and inspiration. You're going to learn about how to take care, do self-care, and you're going to also learn about your business and career, and you're going to be inspired to take your life and your career to the next level. That's what we want to do, is for each other.
Dr. King, can men come to this as well?
Oh, absolutely. We're women-focused but guy-friendly.
Okay.
Thank you for asking that. Last year, I think we had about 30 guys that were brave enough to come, and they really got a lot out of it. You know, these are professional women, so why not? You know, next week we're doing our Sassy Connection, which is our networking event, and it's going to be at Mancini's in on Las Olas, 401 Las Olas, and it's from 6 to 8. You can go again to suitstilettosandlipstick.com and get the information for that. It's $10 at the door. It helps a charity that we choose, which our charity partner for the conference is Women in Distress. So
Perfect.
We're very excited about that, and so many wonderful people coming on board. You're just going to love it. So again, Suit Stilettos and Lipstick is very simple.com, and you'll get all that information. I have so much to talk to you about. I want to get through all the announcements because I want to talk to you. Why don't you share? We have a little bit of time before we go to commercial break.
Okay.
So why don't you share a little bit about you and how you got to this profession that you're doing?
All right, I'd love to do that. Like I said, hi everybody. My name is Dr. Jenna Bofshever. I'm a doctor of chiropractic. The way I got into that was initially, I have a Bachelor of Science in Biological Anthropology. My parents were not too happy when I chose that as my major, but you know, you go on to higher education.
That's right.
Worked in the health field, worked in as a fitness trainer in New York Sports Club, and then decided that I wanted to continue on in the health field, and moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and went to Life University, which I loved, and I got my doctorate in chiropractic. During that time, I got to reach out to a lot of different people in the community and figure out kind of what I wanted to do with my life, because I think passion is really important, and I really discovered what my passion was, and was helping people and using chiropractic as that venue to do that. When I graduated from Atlanta, I moved to Pennsylvania, and I worked as an associate in a high volume family practice in the mountains of Pennsylvania, skiing and hiking twice a week, and then moved from there down to Flat, Florida, where I no longer ski and hike. Oh, that's us on repeat.
I'm sorry. Here we go. Oh,
That's okay.
sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. Where I no longer ski and hike, but now I am on the beach or paddleboarding when I'm not seeing patients. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So now you love Florida.
I love Florida now. I didn't at first. There's a lot of sweating and humidity, but now I love it.
It's great that you have the curly, beautiful hair, because, you know, if you didn't, you just have mop hair like me.
A lot of hairspray and no humidity. A lot of hairspray.
That's Florida for you. But that's great. So you fell in love with Florida, and
Well, I moved down here because my family was here. I actually swore that I would never live down here.
Really?
And then, well, I like seasons. I like New York City. That's where I'm from.
all
And,
right.
but I made the move, and it's really been a great decision. And when I first moved here, I was a coverage doctor. So I worked in different offices. People would hire me per diem to come in and see their patients. And I did that until I decided that this was the place I wanted to be. And then May 7th of 2011, I opened my own practice down here in Plantation,
in
Florida.
Plantation, yeah. What made you decide to go to Plantation?
I wanted an area that was not directly in the city, a little more suburban, because I love to work with young families, and that typically tends to be the areas where they mostly are. So one, it kept me a little closer to where my personal family was, and the second reason being that it allowed me to really reach out to the communities that I enjoy working with most.
You know, that's a really good point, because absolutely on the west side of town is where you're going to find more of the families. You know, I am so excited that you're here for many reasons. For my own personal reasons, I have to say.
Because we're having fun.
Well, having fun, and I love you, and I think that you're just phenomenal. But also because I'm curious about chiropractic care.
Sure.
You know, I mean, everybody that's been watching my show, I've been on for 5 years, 5.5 years. So a lot of people have been following me for a long time, and everybody knows my story with the polio. I've always been so afraid about chiropractic care, because I'm like, is that going to hurt me, damage me? You know, you hear about cracking, you know, you hear about neck cracking. So I want to ask you so many questions. So, is it only for your neck?
Okay. So I want to start by saying there's a lot of preconceived misconceptions out there about chiropractic, and I'm really glad to be here today so that we can address a lot of those, because chiropractic can help a lot of people, and a lot of people think that it's only for neck pain or low back pain. And while that is what brings most people into my door, because we can help those people, that's not ultimately what chiropractic's all about. So let's start by talking what chiropractic's all about.
Yes.
So I brought my friend here.
That's nice. And if you're listening to the show and not watching, tell her what your
I'm
friend
holding
is.
I did not. It's not. It's not a real one.
Okay.
I did not. This is not from a patient that missed an appointment.
Although you may wish
Sometimes I want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm holding a spine, and the reason why I'm holding a spine is because your spine's your lifeline. So I'm going to actually ask you a couple questions and kind of lead you down the path so we can discover chiropractic together.
Okay.
So Dr. King, what controls everything in your body?
Your nervous system.
Your nervous system. And so for those of you who don't know, that's made up of your brain and your spinal cord. And so what happens is the brain sends messages down the spinal cord and then out through all the nerves, and the nerves all pass between the bones, okay? These nerves innervate, they go to every organ, every tissue, and every cell in the body. And these bones of the spine, they all move. It's how your body moves. Sometimes they can move and get stuck out of place. And I'm giving you the most basic, simplest explanation to really allow you to understand what we're talking about. So if you think about this, and I just move this just a little bit and put a little bit of pressure on that nerve, what's going to happen? It's going to affect the transmission of whatever message the brain's sending out to that area in the body. So for instance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C6, C7, T1, T2, this nerve right here goes to the heart. So I'm just going to put a little pressure there. Now let me borrow your arm for a second. So I'm going to put a little pressure on you like this. When I do this, is your heart still beating? Are your lungs still breathing?
Yes.
Does this hurt?
No.
Would this be annoying if I did it all day long?
Yeah, probably.
Depends who you ask, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes when I ask a different person, they're like, no, I like this.
Yeah.
So it would be annoying. So would you function at your best?
No, probably not.
There you go. So when we go back to, let's take this nerve again that goes to the heart. Now there's pressure on it. Is the heart still beating?
Yes.
Are the lungs still breathing?
Yes.
Does this hurt?
No.
Not necessarily, right? It could, if depending on how hard I push.
Right.
But it doesn't have to hurt. But my question to you is it functioning at its best?
No.
And is it important that your heart function at its best?
Yes.
How about the nerve going in your hand to tell your fingers to move? Is it important that that nerve function at its best?
Of course.
All right, how about the nerve that goes to your stomach to digest your vitamins and your salad? Does that nerve need to function at its best?
Of course.
You got it. So my job is to figure out where you have any of that pressure interference in the nerves and to gently adjust it. When I do, you hear a pop sound that sounds like that.
So you're not supposed to hear a boom pop sound.
Well, I love when people ask me, are you going to crack my bones or are you going to break my bones? Guys, if we're breaking your bones, it's not good for business. You wouldn't come back, okay?
Right,
There'd be many unhappy patients.
You know what? We have to go to commercial break, but when we come back, we can pick up where you left off.
We'll jump right back in.
Yes, we'll be
Sounds
right back.
good.
Your path to true health and wellness is unique and requires treating the whole person, not just the disease, or worse, a set of symptoms. Founded and led by Dr. Elizabeth King, the International Holistic Center in Fort Lauderdale offers the most effective and comprehensive approach to health and wellness by fusing conventional and alternative therapies to address the whole person. From the moment you step into the spa-like atmosphere at IHC and meet the expert multidisciplinary staff, you'll know that you've entered a place dedicated to providing exemplary physical, emotional, and spiritual care, tailored to meet your specific needs. Located at 3471 North Federal Highway, Suite 410 in Fort Lauderdale, IHC specialists offer acupuncture, counseling, life coaching, thermography, on-demand, massage therapy, and a lot more. For more information or to make an appointment, please call 954-903-9426. That's 954-903-9426. Or visit them on the web at ihchealthfusion.com. Feeling good is now an option. When it comes to Hispanic platforms, Televisa Publishing and Digital is leading the way. In 2013, Televisa's Publishing and Digital's audited titles will deliver an annual audience reach of over 8 million readers per month, making Televisa Publishing and Digital the leading Spanish-language publisher in the country, controlling 55% of the audience amongst the top 10 titles in the U.S. Hispanic market, according to Simmons' Winter 2012 release. Televisa.com is your one-stop site for premium content and features over 10 channels with over 100 microsites offering exclusive world-class content content like breaking news, entertainment, and sports. It also houses their female and business news network, Vanidades.com, CosmopolitanEspanol.com, TVYnovelas.com, and Poder360.com. Ranking in the top 10 Hispanic sites with 11 million visits, 3.7 million unique users, and over 58 million page views a month. Find your place in the Hispanic platform with Televisa Publishing and Digital.
Welcome back. This is Dr. Elizabeth King. I'm so happy you're joining us today, and we are here at noon on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Today we have Dr. Jenna, and I am not going to say her last name. She's going to have to... Bob Shever. Yes. She can do that because I don't want to butcher it. It's not good. But I am so happy you're joining us. I hear we're having some technical difficulties. Somebody in Germany has hijacked my website. I'm seeing it fine. Some of you may be seeing it fine. Go to ihchealthfusion.com directly. Don't go from the Facebook through, and you should be able to get it, and you'll be able to watch us, or go to 1470 AM and you can listen to the show. Okay. Before you get back on your topic, which I'm very excited to learn today, I just want to go ahead and re-announce that we are doing our Suit, Stilettos, and Lipstick, the Balancing Act Conference, July 12th at the Ritz-Carlton. If you want tickets, it's suitstilettosandlipstick.com, and we're going to have a great time. It's a full day of health, business, and inspiration.
Sounds good to me.
Yes, you don't have to wear stilettos. Somebody actually sent me an email. Do I have to wear stilettos? Well, I don't know if you can see my feet. No stilettos on these little babies. So no stilettos are necessary. You can just bring a lipstick, though. That is important.
Not the men, unless you want to.
No, yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and keep talking about this.
Sure. So real quick, just to finish up on that, we wanted to discuss what that sound is that you're hearing. Basically, there's no empty space in the body. So when a bone moves out of place, there's actually some gas that's building up in there. And when we gently adjust or realign or reposition the bones, you're actually just hearing that sound release. And the reason why we're doing that again is because that brain-body connection has some interference in it. We don't have that full communication. And so every time you get an adjustment, it's restoring how that brain's talking to whatever organ, tissue, or cell in the body that nerve's innervating. So it's pretty powerful stuff. And you can understand how even in this example, where we said you don't necessarily have to feel pain from that, how this is then affecting function. And that's really what chiropractic's all about. It's about functioning at 100% for whatever 100% is for you. So whether you have polio or you've never had any kind of debilitating dis-ease in your body, or regardless of what age you are, understanding how keeping an open communication between the brain and the body is something that is important for every single person.
So what you're saying is that it doesn't matter if you're in pain, you should just go for routine adjustments?
Let me ask you this. Do you brush your teeth even if you don't have a cavity?
Absolutely.
Why?
Prevention.
Okay. So what happens if you don't brush your teeth?
Oh, you'd probably be really icky.
You get decay, right?
Yeah, decay.
And eventually, if there's enough decay, what happens?
Oh, well, you lose your tooth.
You lose your tooth. Could you live without your teeth?
Well, you can. You
can get implants.
Yeah.
You could get dentures, right? So what happens if we don't take care of our spine? Eventually, what's the D word?
The degeneration?
It decays. Degeneration, or in this case, we call it arthritis.
Uh-huh.
Now, let me ask you this. Can you live without your spine?
No.
You got it. So one of the things that we do in the office is I teach exercises and other things, and we're going to touch on that, different components of 5 pillars of health, so that we don't have to go down this degenerative process. See, whether you're in pain or not, whether you have that cavity or not, you're going to brush your teeth. Whether you're in pain or not, whether you're already arthritic or not, you still need to maintain the spine that you have and keep it functioning and moving at its best, and that's how chiropractic can help.
But now, don't you also do adjustments of the other parts of the body, like in your hip? It's not just your spine, correct?
Well, technically, you can adjust any joint in the body, and a joint is any place that two bones meet. So you can adjust a wrist, you can adjust an elbow, you can adjust a shoulder, but before you move on to that, you want to first make sure that the spine's clear, because again, the nerve's going to first leave this area, which is in the neck, before passing out to whatever upper or lower extremity we're talking about. But yes, you can.
You can. Now, I know that you treat a lot of athletes. How, you're a woman. How do you have the strength to...
Okay. So I do take care of a lot of professional athletes, and some of them are really big guys and girls. And the thing with chiropractic is that it's more about your technique and your setup than it is about your strength. So when you have a patient that you're going to be adjusting, if you have a proper setup, it doesn't require a lot of force. And that's another misconception that a lot of people think, is that it's a painful process to be adjusted. It's actually gentle and comfortable and feels good. It's not supposed to be painful.
Oh, really?
Because the joints move in a certain direction. Like if you look even here at the spine, there's a certain angle to that joint. So if we in a setup are going right along the joint plane line, it's just a little bit of force as long as you have the proper setup. So it's not a painful experience.
Interesting.
And then it doesn't matter what size you are.
Okay. Now, there's something called gentle chiropractic, right? Have you ever heard that?
Just gentle chiropractic?
Yeah.
I mean, I think all chiropractic's gentle.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I don't know specifically about just gentle chiropractic.
Because then I've heard, I've heard of chiropractics really, jerking people around. So that's not supposed to happen.
Well, no, there's movements. And sometimes if you watch an adjustment happen, and you've never experienced one, it can look a little off color when you look at it, like, wow, that looks uncomfortable. But if you watch the patient getting adjusted or the person getting adjusted, they're fine, they're smiling, they're happy, they feel good. It's just that, we will move your body to the end range of motion. We don't take it farther than that. And so you're just going as much as your body can move, and then we're adding a little bit of force there. So again, it can look like it's not gentle, but all adjustment techniques theoretically are gentle. And there's hundreds of different techniques out there. So from energy work to osseous adjustments, which is where you're actually hearing that sound release. So to instrument adjusting. So it just depends on the experience that a specific person might have had, or what kind of resonates best with their body.
And what do you use chiropractic care for? I know you said for prevention, but what disease can you use it for?
Well, chiropractic's not treating any specific disease. What we're doing is, again, enhancing that brain-body connection so you function at 100%. Now, what happens when we tend to function at 100% or take care of our bodies at 100%? We tend to see less dis-ease in the body, right? However, I've had plenty of patients bring, let's talk about children for a second, chronic ear infections, kids that they want to put tubes in their ears, asthma, allergies, and this is for all ages, headaches, neck pain, low back pain. I mean, you name it, chiropractic can help. I've had patients come in that are having trouble getting pregnant. And how could chiropractic help that out? I thought it's just about neck pain and low back pain. And the reason why that can help is because, again, we're talking about nerve transmission. When we talk about the nerves that are innervating or going to our reproductive organs, and if they're not functioning or communicating at 100%, well, then how's that sperm going to effectively meet that egg? So it helps boost all organ systems in the body.
I've seen on Facebook quite a few pictures of you with mommies. How do you adjust a pregnant woman?
Mom?
Yeah.
Okay. I love adjusting pregnant moms. Why? Because better and healthier aligned pelvis allows for an easier labor and delivery. And who doesn't want that? For their baby to be able to have a natural vaginal childbirth without any interventions, which is the best thing for both mom and the baby. And how does a pregnant mom get adjusted? Well, I didn't bring them today, but I have pregnancy pillows. And I have 2 different sizes, one that I can use for first trimester, one that I use for second trimester, and then I put them together for third trimester, or depending on how big the mom's belly is. And it's the first time that a mom, when she comes to me and she's in her third trimester, she hasn't slept on her stomach in a long time. She tends to be really uncomfortable. They just want to lay there.
Yes.
And it feels so comfortable for them, and it makes a happier mom, happier, healthier pregnancy, and then in turn the dads are happier, and then everyone kind of benefits from that one.
Now, can you adjust children, and if yes, what age can you start adjusting?
Okay, great question. The youngest patient I've ever adjusted was 1 hour old.
What?
Yeah, I was invited to a home birth, and this is a mom I had been adjusting throughout her pregnancy. And so let's address that, because that seems crazy to someone who's just thinking that chiropractic's for neck pain. And so obviously,
and that I would be one of those people.
So what's wrong with an infant? My baby's perfect. So let's talk about that. What's the first thing to come out in the birth process?
The placenta.
That comes out after. First the baby comes out.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So let's start over. The baby comes out first, then the
the
placenta. Okay, but what part of the baby comes out first?
The head.
It's going to be their head, right?
So
let's even think about in the birth process, sometimes that head's pulled out, right? So what's going to happen now? It's going to cause extra stress and pressure. So I need to go back for a second and discuss how you would get this nerve interference in the first place, because I skipped that important step. And we have 3 types of stresses: chemical, physical, and emotional. So we have chemical, foods we eat, things we drink, drugs, both prescription and not, right?
Right.
We have emotional, and you would understand that in the field that you're in, how having all the divorces, breakups, you name it, financial issues, how that affects our bodies. And then we also have physical. And that's the most common thing that people think of when they're thinking of going to the chiropractor, because they're thinking I was in a car accident or a fall, a major impact.
Right.
But those are macro traumas. We also have micro traumas, which are small, repetitive traumas that keep happening, like sitting on a wallet every single day for however many years as a guy, or a woman carrying a purse every single side for however many years. So now that we understand that stress causes what's called a subluxation, that's nerve system interference, and we understand that nerve system interference keeps us from functioning at our best, now we can understand how during that birth process, which is going to be stressful for both the baby and the mom, how that could have some subluxations being caused or nerve interference being caused specifically in this upper cervical area. So typically, now when I adjust an infant, there's no popping sound, there's no high velocity movements, it's more pressures, and I typically tend to focus mostly upper cervical, these top two bones in here, and it's little teeny pressures. So it feels like this. I'm putting a little pressure on her hand right now. So kind of like just enough that if you were to touch a tomato, or you just start to feel a little indent, nothing more than that.
Wow. And so again, it's just for prevention, so that down the road you would do that for a child so that they would not.
I wouldn't even call that prevention. I would call that full expression, because you never want to prevent the full expression of life, right?
Right.
So when we take a child or a baby, they're developing at an exponential rate at that of an adult. So we want to keep that nerve system free and clear at all times. So there's that full communication, so that as their heart, their lungs, their muscles, as everything's developing, it's doing that full force, free flow, no interference.
Wow. I'm learning so much here. I know everybody else is learning a lot
That's
from
the point.
you. Yeah.
Education is key.
Yes, absolutely. And you're so passionate about this. You definitely found your calling.
I love it.
You do love it. Tell me about the patients that you treat. What type of patients do you treat?
So I like to use the word care, because again, not everybody's coming to see me for a dis-ease. A lot of people do, but we do a lot of patient education when you first walk through the door, and understanding all of this, we get back to how to incorporate this into a healthy lifestyle. So I can take care of, basically, if you have a spine and you want to be your best, I can help you, because we all have stresses and we all can have subluxations or misalignments. So if you have interference, my job is to make sure that that's as free and clear as possible, so that brain-body connection is doing its best. So let's kind of veer off a little bit and talk about the 5 pillars of health, which is something that I discuss with all my practice members. And I'm going to ask you again to role play with me a little bit.
Okay, sure.
So Dr. King, there's 5 pillars of health, okay? And I want you to finish the sentence for me. I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to what? What do people think of when they want to be healthier? What are you going to do to be healthier? What do you have to do?
I always say lose weight. That's me.
Okay. So how do you lose weight? What do we got to do?
I changed my eating habits.
Okay, I'm glad you didn't say the diet word.
I know.
I use the word nutrition. I hate using the word diet. Why? Because it freaks people out. It makes them think of something crash. And we're talking about, these are the 5 pillars of health. These are lifestyle components, okay? Not fads. These are from now until the day we die. We always want to be moving towards health, not away from it. And so these are, when I think diet, or when most people think diet, they're thinking crash and burn, right? Short-term thing. So we're going to talk about...
I'm sorry. We're going to talk about... Yeah, we're going to talk about the next step when we come back.
Sounds good.
Hi, I'm John Weaver with Portside Realty. When my wife and I were investing in properties, some of the properties we purchased were from GL Homes. We did this because we only wanted to invest in quality properties, and we considered GL Homes to be very high quality. The customer service was also excellent. Our own home was a GL home before we moved to the beach after our children left for college. Now, GL Homes is again selling beautiful new homes, and many people are buying them. I'm not affiliated with GL Homes, but I'm telling you this for one simple reason. If you're interested in a new home from GL Homes, call me first. I will rebate 1.5% of the price of the house and lot back to you. Example, if you purchase a $500,000 house, this would be $7,500 that you would get back. I'll also be helpful with the purchasing process because I know a little bit about it. It's that simple. You can contact me, John Weaver, at 754-224-0572 for this and any other of your real estate needs. Again, that's John Weaver at 754-224-0572.
Your path to true health and wellness is unique and requires treating the whole person, not just a disease or worse, a set of symptoms. Founded and led by Dr. Elizabeth King, the International Holistic Center in Fort Lauderdale offers the most effective and comprehensive approach to health and wellness by fusing conventional and alternative therapies to address the whole person. From the moment you step into the spa-like atmosphere at IHC and meet the expert multidisciplinary staff, you'll know that you've entered a place dedicated to providing exemplary physical, emotional, and spiritual care, tailored to meet your specific needs. Located at 3471 North Federal Highway, Suite 410 in Fort Lauderdale, IHC specialists offer acupuncture, counseling, life coaching, thermography, on-demand, massage therapy, and a lot more. For more information or to make an appointment, please call 954-903-9426. That's 954-903-9426. Or visit them on the web at ihchealthfusion.com. Feeling good is now an option.
Welcome back, and this is Dr. Elizabeth King. I'm so glad you're joining us today, and I am so happy that Dr. Jenna is here explaining about chiropractic care, because I certainly was not very familiar with all of these details, and I'm glad she brought her spine, because I'm a visual person, and if you're able to get online, I hear that we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but if you're able to get online, you'll be able to see her explanations very clearly. We are live streaming, but it is being recorded, and we will have the show up on our website, so you'll be able to see it after this. We also replay the show on Saturdays at 7 p.m., so you're welcome to come back and look at it at that time. I'm so happy you're giving me all this information. You're talking about the 5 pillar of health, and you want to go ahead and continue on that?
So we're talking about the 5 pillars of health, and the first one that we touched on when I asked you, what do you need to do to be healthier? You said lose weight, and I said, what was your mechanism for that? And you said nutrition. So everybody gets that. The foods that we eat is how we fuel our body. You wouldn't put sand or low-grade fuel in your Ferrari gas tank. Well, our bodies are our Ferraris, right? Mm-hmm. Except Ferraris are replaceable. Our bodies are not. Mm-hmm. So we want to be putting, think of if it grew or if it lived at some point, it's probably healthier to put in our body versus if it was made in a factory somewhere. Mm-hmm. So you got it. Nutrition, that's very important. Proper nutrition. So there's 5 pillars. We have the first one so far. So I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to have proper nutrition. I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to what?
Exercise.
Exercise. Move my body, okay? I say proper motion. Why do I not say exercise? Again, that word I think freaks people out. Mm-hmm. They're thinking, well, I have to go to the gym, and now I'm too heavy to go to the gym, or I don't feel comfortable in my body. Guess what, guys? All you have to do is move your body. We want to increase that oxygen flow. We want to get the heart rate up. So you don't have to go to a gym to do that. Hey, do I think it's a great idea to hire a trainer and push yourself a little bit harder? Absolutely. But if you need to start by just walking around the block, that's where you start.
I dance.
Perfect.
I love dancing. Yeah. I love dancing. You know, for some reason, my leg doesn't even bother me when I'm dancing.
That's awesome. So you should do that as much as possible. So what I try to encourage all my patients to do is figure out what your passion is, what you like to do, and incorporate that into your workout routine.
What if you're older? What are some suggestions that you would have if you're like wheelchair bound or just can't mobilize yourself?
If you're able to get into a pool and you have some weight bearing issues, that's going to be great because there's it's not as compressive, the forces in there, so that's a great option. Also, if you're wheel bound in a wheelchair but you're able to use your upper body, you could dancercise in your chair and do upper body stuff. I mean, there's really no limitations to it. You don't have to be in the gym. It's not a black and white kind of thing. You just have to be moving that body. Okay? So we have proper nutrition, proper motion. There's 3 more. What else do we need to be healthy?
Well,
I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to what?
Well, for me, I'm a psychotherapist, so I'm going to talk about, the mind. Have a good attitude. You have to have a good attitude.
I call it positive mental attitude.
Yes, absolutely.
So now, guys, understand that these are all umbrellas, because people say to me, well, taking vitamins. Yeah, taking vitamins are important and supplementing, but I'm going to group that with nutrition. People say, hey, drinking water. Absolutely. Our body's mostly comprised of water. We need to be fueling that. So I'm going to put water again with nutrition. Now let's talk about positive mental attitude, and that's completely different for different people. So for some people, it's prayer, it's yoga, it's meditation, it's seeking out a professional to discuss your issues that you're having. It's so many different things. Looking at the glass half full versus half empty, attracting that positive energy out there. But all of those things are important. So we have proper nutrition, proper motion, positive mental attitude. What else? There's two more.
Sleep.
You got it.
Have to sleep.
So I sometimes when people don't remember this one, I say, you do it every night. And then I say the other S word.
I
Because
love
that
it.
counts as exercise. That would go under emotion. But yeah, sleep's very important. Why? That's how our body rests and repairs itself. So we talked about, everybody knows that we only get one body. Unfortunately, we take for granted the one body we get. But, you know, what happens if you don't restart your computer every once in a while or shut it down? It'll wig out on you, right? It just stops working.
Absolutely.
So our bodies are the same thing. They're just really smart computers, essentially. So rest is, when we sleep, it's our body's ability to rest and repair itself, so that when you have a hard workout or the foods that you're eating, you have the energy to break all those down and to rebuild itself. So extremely, extremely important. So we have 5 pillars of health. So far, we've touched on 4 of them. Proper nutrition, proper motion, positive mental attitude, adequate amounts of rest, and what's the last one?
Goodness. Now
It's getting harder.
yeah, it's getting harder. She didn't tell me she was going to give me a quiz here. Let me think. What
I
could-
like to keep people on their toes, and I do this to my patients in the office, and I'll just stare at them until they give me an answer. And it's fun when, especially when I get someone who's a little uncomfortable by that, but I know that they're happy in the end because I know we're on the same page, and that's what
Absolutely.
it's all about.
I can't think of the last one, quite
Okay.
honestly.
What controls everything in your body?
Your central nervous
You
system.
got it, brain and spinal cord. So the last one's going to be a properly functioning nervous
Oh, that's where we
system.
were going with this.
Hey, who would have thought the chiropractor would talk about that?
I love it. But you plugged me in too, so we're good.
I'll plug everybody. Listen,
That's good.
and people say to me, "What about massages? What about acupuncture?" Guys, listen. I am a fan of all body work. Okay, I think all of it's great. However, when the brain is not effectively communicating at 100% of what it's capable of with every organ, every tissue, and every cell in the body, then it doesn't matter how many vitamins I took, how much salad I ate, how many workouts I did, how much sleep I got, how many sessions I had with my therapist. If that brain can't effectively talk to my body, I'm not going to function at 100%. And that's the goal. So, and I talk about this in my office from the first and second visit because I want people to understand that, and I want people to take accountability and control of their own health. You see, this 5th pillar, which is properly functioning nervous system, it's my job to keep that as free and clear as possible as long as you come and see me. If you don't come and see me, I can't help you. However, if you want to reduce the chemical, physical, and emotional stresses that we all have in our life to allow your body to function at its best at all times, you have to constantly be working on these other 4 pillars. Watching what you're putting in your body, making sure you're getting proper rest, working on the mind, moving your body. So it's not a, you know, we always are faced with choices. We can make a healthier one or a less healthy one. And as long as we're always striving to at least make more healthier than unhealthy choices, we're moving in the right direction of that pendulum. And we always want to stay on that positive life side, right?
Absolutely, making those choices and being educated and giving your patients options and educating them is what I hear you're doing, and that's phenomenal. That's what this show is all about. Because, you know, when I was bedridden for 2 years, I didn't know about any of this. I unfortunately did not get to meet a good chiropractor that could explain it to me. And so I would go to them. I went to 2 of them, and I asked, you know, will you be able to adjust me and not hurt my you know condition because of I have a prosthesis, you know, all this. And I never really got a good solid answer like you just gave me. It was like, well, you know, it was a lot of dancing around, and so it got me very nervous that what if, you know, they would crack my hip out of place or whatever. So I'm so happy that you're educating and that you're taking the time to explain to your patients what you can do and what benefits that you bring.
Well, I think it's really important, especially when you take something like chiropractic, where, like we said before, a lot of people have those preconceived misconceptions. And it's the same thing when I work with children in my practice or adults. Because people have a memory, and if they have a bad experience, they're going to remember that, especially kids. So I work with all my patients on building trust and establishing relationships. And again, I put the accountability on my patients. See, my job's to educate, and you either are going to want to be a part of that or not. And if you choose not to, that's okay, but I did my part. But if you understand it and you still choose not to, I might think you're a little crazy, but hey, we all make choices, right?
Yes, it's all about choices. Yeah, absolutely. And that's all you can do is bring the people information, and that's what we do on the show. That's what we do at our center. That's what you do in your practice. then people have to make that decision. And, you know, I think we've been so conditioned and brainwashed to believe that there's only one way and that's it. And the only way to get out of a situation, a painful situation or any disease, is to go to a conventional doctor and do the medication route, which, by the way, leads me to my next question. What are your belief system in reference to medication?
Okay, so I'm a fan of the most conservative approach first, always. Okay, so when we're talking from a chiropractic standpoint, chiropractic first, drug second, surgery last. So sometimes people will come and see me. I'll give you an example. I had a patient come see me because he's having carpal tunnel issues, and I take X-rays in my office. We took a film of the neck, and there actually was impingement happening up in the neck. So the nerves that leave up in through this area are going to travel down the whole upper extremity. So they're going to leave the neck, and they're going to innervate the shoulder, elbow, all the way into the wrist, into the fingertips. So if someone's having, just as the example of carpal tunnel, the issue could be coming from the neck, shoulder, elbow, or wrist, anywhere that those joints are happening. So what happened was he was scheduled to go have a surgery on his wrist for the carpal tunnel. And I said, there's no reason why you can't have that surgery down the road. Let's try this conservative approach, because it looks to me like there's an issue happening up here in the neck. And if you don't see positive change, you know, based on what I saw, we set up a care plan. I said, you can by all means have that surgery. But guys, we can't undo a surgery, okay? And that doesn't mean that there's not, sometimes medical necessity and attention is needed. That's not what I'm saying. But why not take the most conservative approach first?
That's what I always say.
And so we worked together, and guess what? His hand was feeling better. The numbness and tingling went away, and he didn't need that surgery. Now, do sometimes people end up needing the surgery? Yeah.
Yes.
Do sometimes people end up needing a medication? Yeah.
Yes.
If I'm in a car accident and my arm's hanging off, don't adjust me. I want you to sew my arm back on
Right, yes.
and then get me an adjustment.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying? So
Yes.
conservative first. Just this morning, I had someone send me a message asking about, you know, their child is having fluid in the ears, and they want the doctor recommended putting tubes in. And I said to her, this is exactly what I said to this mother, you know, and she reached out to me because she was concerned, and she said, can chiropractic help? And I said, I have seen it help in cases in the past. And, you know, she asked me, how does that help? Do you adjust the ear? And I explained, no, we actually are adjusting the upper cervical area. So this bone right up here, the atlas, where the brainstem sits, that's where all our cranial nerves are. Everything going to eyes, ears, nose, and throat. And I explained how when we take the pressure off this area, the body's able to better function. And a lot of times we're able to see that these children, they're having recurrent ear infections or that are having fluid in their ears, not ending up needing the surgery to put these tubes in. So, you know, we talked about that. I'm going to help her find a chiropractor in her area. And because I said, you can always have that surgery, but that shouldn't be the first resort. And she said, that's exactly why I'm reaching out to you for advice, because I don't want that to be my first resort. So, I mean, it's really important that we have these conversations about conservative approach before radical approach. And I know we have to go on a break soon, but real quick, I want to touch on the fact that, you know, what blows my mind sometimes is that someone will come in the office and tell me that their insurance will cover the surgery, so they'd rather have that than do this conservative approach. Because guess what, guys? The conservative approach takes commitment, and it takes time. Okay, it's not like you get an adjustment and all of a sudden every pain, ache, and ailment in your body, you receive a chiropractic adjustment, every pain, ache, and ailment in your body that you ever had goes away. It's not like you do one workout and you have a 6-pack of abs, right? It's a process that takes a long time, and it's repetition. And chiropractic and conservative approaches work the exact same way.
What a great place to go ahead into commercial break. So when we come back, we can jump right in and go on to more details about chiropractic care. We'll be right back.
When it comes to Hispanic platforms, Televisa Publishing and Digital is leading the way. In 2013, Televisa's Publishing and Digital's audited titles will deliver an annual audience reach of over 8 million readers per month, making Televisa Publishing and Digital the leading Spanish-language publisher in the country, controlling 55% of the audience amongst the top 10 titles in the U.S. Hispanic market, according to Simmons' Winter 2012 release. Televisa.com is your one-stop site for premium content and features over 10 channels with over 100 microsites offering exclusive world-class content like breaking news, entertainment, and sports. It also houses their female and business news network, Vanidades.com, CosmopolitanEspanol.com, TVYnovelas.com, and Poder360.com. Ranking in the top 10 Hispanic sites with 11 million visits, 3.7 million unique users, and over 58 million page views a month. Find your place in the Hispanic platform with Televisa Publishing and Digital.
Hi, I'm David Webb, the Doctor of Oriental Medicine and Acupuncture Physician at International Holistic Center. I offer a variety of treatment techniques, including acupuncture and many non-needle techniques, to help reduce or eliminate the symptoms associated with a broad range of health conditions, including acute and chronic pain, allergies and food sensitivities, neuropathies, and post-stroke rehabilitation. If you suffer from any acute or chronic illness, don't hesitate to give me a call. I offer a free 10-minute phone consultation. So please call me today at 954-903-9426. Again, that's 954-903-9426, and ask for Dr. David Webb. Please visit our website at www.ihchealthfusion.com. And remember, feeling good is now an option.
Welcome back. This is Dr. Elizabeth King. I'm here with Dr. Jenna
Bofshever. The F is not silent.
Oh, Bofshever.
You got it.
Bofshever. I am so happy you're here, and I'm so happy you're joining us, not just on this radio show, but also on this mission to educate people in general, but more specifically, we have suit stilettos and lipstick. That's what this beautiful thing is about. You see the stilettos? You see that? How gorgeous that is? The Boys and Girls Club made this, by the way.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
It came out great.
Yes, I bought that at a silent auction, but it was a great representation of our conference. It's coming up July 12th. So please get on your website right now, on our website, which is suitstilettosandlipstick.com.
Get your tickets.
Get your tickets. It's only 2.5 weeks away. Woohoo! And talking about sleeping and lack of sleeping, I've been up like at 3 in the morning. I'm so excited. I can't stand it.
Oh my gosh. When you're passionate about something, you have a burning desire to get it out there.
How would you know about passion?
I'm up at 3 a.m. also posting about things like this.
Yeah, I know because we communicate at 3 in the morning, so I absolutely know. I want you to give out your website and your phone number because I know there are folks out there that need to speak with you.
Absolutely. Easiest way to get in touch with me is going to be through my Facebook site, which is www.facebook.com/Dr. Dr. Jenna, spelled Gena Chiropractic, CHIROPRACTIC. So Dr. Jenna Chiropractic on Facebook, or you can find me on my website. It's not so easy because it's my full name, but they are going to show it on the live stream. It's Dr. Dr. Jenna, Gena Bofshever, BOFSHEVER.com. You also can reach me by calling directly to the office at 954-417-5815.
Beautiful. And if you missed any of that, you can call my office, and Elaine will give you that number, which is 954-903-9426. You can always get her through us. We promise
we're connected.
We are definitely connected. She is one of our sponsors for Suit Stilettos and one of my new close friends. And
in a short amount, we're one of those people that it kind of like goes way back, even though we just met.
Yeah. You know, I don't know how way back we can go because I know I'm a lot older than you, but I like the idea.
We're the same.
I like the idea. It's great.
We bonded.
We bonded. So we were talking about so many wonderful things. I want to talk about your mission of your practice. What is your mission?
My mission is to motivate and inspire people to live life to its fullest potential. And you notice I didn't just specifically talk about chiropractic in that. I use chiropractic as a venue for people to live life to its fullest, but I want people to be celebrating in all aspects of their life. Guys, we only get one life. We need to be enjoying it and having fun. So through those 5 pillars of health, and obviously through chiropractic care, I want you to be living your life to the best of your abilities.
You know, that's why we connected. We have the same mission.
And we're both Aquarius.
And we're both Aquarius, yeah, absolutely. Do you have some cases you want to share with us?
Yes, I would like to talk to you guys about Maria. So Maria came to see me, and she was bent over, okay, in really, really, really bad low back pain. So Maria comes in, hobbling in. She can barely walk. She's literally bent in 90 degrees and says, Dr. Jenna, can you help me? And I said, I'm not too sure. Let's take a look and find out. So what are we thinking? We're thinking low back pain, muscle spasm, all that stuff, you name it. What do? Take some x-rays. I see that she has subluxations. Again, guys, what's a subluxation? It's nerve system interference and how the brain and body are communicating. So I see that she has this nerve pressure in that lower part of the body. Started adjusting her, and I was seeing her 3 times a week in the beginning. And after her first 3 visits, she came in to talk to me, and she said, Dr. Jenna, I need to talk to you. I said, what's up? What's going on? She said, I'm going to the bathroom. I said, okay. She's like, I'm going a lot. And I said, well, how often is a lot? She's like, well, I'm going every day. I said, number 1 or number 2? And she said, number 2. And I said, Maria, how much were you going to the bathroom at number 2? And she said, about like once a week or every other week. And she said, and I can stand up now. And it's like I've lost 15 pounds and my stomach's gone and I feel great. So when we look at what's going on, she said, what's happening? Well, here's what's happening. The nerves in the lower part of the spine, which are going to innervate or go to the large intestine and the colon, which are responsible for excretion when we're pooping and going to the bathroom, they had interference. They had pressure.
Wow.
So they weren't functioning at 100%. So I don't know, for however long that Maria has not been eliminating on a daily basis, right? Number 2, we're supposed to do that every day. When we eat, we're supposed to get rid of that in our body. But on a daily basis, she wasn't eliminating. And so she essentially was walking around toxic. Because what is it? That's a toxicity, right?
Right.
So all of a sudden, we adjust the lumbar spine. Not only is her back pain gone, but if she was just coming in to treat the low back pain, or she had gone to seek out conventional care, what would happen? Metamucil, maybe take a muscle relaxer and a painkiller, right? She's still not going to be pooping and going to the bathroom.
Right.
And she's going to feel worse because now she has chemicals in her body, and now she's also taking all this extra fiber, but she's not able to eliminate it. So we started adjusting this area, and it was a venue for Maria to be able to start working out. I mean, literally, when we talk about change someone's life through chiropractic, I mean, it's a prime example how someone walking in my door with low back pain now has lost weight, is able to exercise, enjoys life better, can move around, can interplay with her family, can be a happy person and a more effective member of society, so everyone benefits.
That's fabulous. How about for pain? What do you do for pain?
For pain, guess what I do? I adjust the body. So again, I'm not treating any one specific area or part. I don't look at the body as parts. I look at the body as a whole.
So if I come in there and I'm saying I have a really bad lower back pain, what would you do?
I'm going to check the entire spine, because a lot of times something that's going on down below could actually be coming from up top. And this is my favorite bone to check. This top bone right here, I'm pointing to the first bone in the spine underneath the skull. It's the atlas.
And how do you check that?
When I check a patient, I look at a few different things. I take x-rays. I don't always have to have x-rays, but sometimes I need them. I look at posture. Everything should be in balance, so we want the shoulders to line up, the hips to line up, and the feet to line up. I'm going to palpate, which means I'm going to feel for differences and balances, and I use what's called a leg check. So as an example, when someone lays, let's say, face down on my table, and I look at the leg length, some people have what's called an anatomical short leg, where literally one leg shorter, but for most people it's a functional short leg. And it's a functional issue coming because there's interference somewhere else in their nerve system in their body, and that's how it's manifesting. So I'll use the leg checks, palpation, posture, x-ray, muscle tests to tell me what's going on with that person's body. And sometimes they can come in and they're having pain in their left low back. Guess what? The issue's on the right side, or that they're having nerve pressure up high. So it's not point of pain doesn't equal point of problem, and lack of pain does not always mean that we're functioning at 100%.
Wow. So you're going to adjust the whole spine then?
I'm going to check and adjust whatever has
to
interference and nothing more.
So you actually can see the interference on a X-ray?
You can't see the interference. Interference is going to be what we're talking about with where function's concerned. So we can see that more when we do a thermography scan or things like that.
Okay.
But when I look at an X-ray, I can look at structural alignment. So I look for, when you stand straight ahead, we should see a straight line. But when you stand sideways, we should have curves in our body. A C-shaped one in the neck, a curve in the opposite direction in the mid-back, and then a curve that matches the one in the neck and the low back. And we get this C-shaped curve in the neck as a baby when we lift our head up, so everyone should have it. Most people walking around when I take an x-ray of the neck have actually lost this curve. And the most prime example is going to be little whiplash, little car accident, they play football, you name it. And sometimes I'll see it in kids, okay? And so one of the things that we do in my office is we work on posture correction. So my patients do exercises when they come in conjunction with their adjustments to work on bettering their posture, but more so that structural component, because structure can dictate function. And again, you've heard me say that over and over again. I'm very big on function. I want all my patients, all my people, I want everyone functioning at 100% for whatever 100% is for them.
Do you take insurance?
I do. I'm out of network with most plans, but I have a discount cash plan that is affordable and on par with that. And like I said before, I'd hate for finances to be a reason why someone's not coming in to receive the care that they need. So I go over that with my patients and anyone walking through the door from the beginning. Everyone knows the price is up front, and that's not really the major concern that we're looking at. The major concern is, can I help someone?
I love that. What a great place to end this interview. I would really, really loved having you on my show, and I hope that everybody out there is excited about learning and coming to see you.
And going to get adjusted.
And coming to get adjusted by Dr. Jenna. Can you go ahead and give your contact information one more time before we go off the air?
Absolutely. You can reach me at www.drdrjenna, G-E-N-A, Bofshever, B-O-F-S-H-E-V-E-R, drjennabofshever.com, or you can call my office at 954-417-5815, or you can reach me via Facebook at Dr. Jenna, G-E-N-A, Chiropractic.
That's very great. I am so excited. So remember, call her, because I know that now you know that you need to be seeing her. Right?
Got it. I want to adjust your spine.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for educating me as well.
Thanks for having me.
Don't forget that we're doing Suits, Stilettos, and Lipstick in 2.5 weeks, and you need to get on our website, which is suitsstilettosandlipstick.com. Get your tickets. We will see you there, and we're going to have a blast. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and next week I promise that we won't be in German.
Have a good day, guys.
Have a good one. Thank you, and remember, feeling good is now an option. Bye.
You've been listening to the Dr. Elizabeth King Show, brought to you by International Holistic Center, 3471 North Federal Highway, Fort Lauderdale, where feeling good is now an option. Call 954-903-9426 to schedule an appointment. Dr. Elizabeth King is recognized internationally as a health and wellness expert. She is a psychotherapist, hypnotherapist, speaker, and author of Dr. King's Simple Guide to Holistic Health. Listen again next time here in South Florida on AM 1470 WNN or around the globe at www.ihchealthfusion.com. The Dr. Elizabeth King Show, where it's all about health, wealth, happiness, and purpose.